Section 1. Verbal and Nonverbal Communication. Verbal communication and nonverbal communication are means to spread a message. Verbal communication involves directly communicating your message in a manner meant to be explicitly understood. Nonverbal communication is communication mostly picked up on by the person being communicated to and is not directly stated. An example of verbal communication would be telling someone that you are going to kill their dog. An example of nonverbal communication would be holding a knife to their dog's throat and giving them the stare, the likes of which only emerges from the slumber of an ancient deity of wrath. Section 2. Social media and its effect on mental health. Social media has an impact on everyone who uses it. The type of impact it has depends strictly on the person. Social media is often depicted in modern news stories or classes on interpersonal studies as some sort of demon temptation that steals away the happiness and reality from the lives of children around the world. However, despite the widespread interpretation of social media being this force of sheer destruction, I believe the effects blamed on social media to be the faults of those who abuse it. The common belief is that social media has led to an increase in depression and anxiety in young people. This may be true, but social media cannot do that kind of thing on its own. Social media needs people. I guess it's a good thing for the evil interpretation of social media that people are awful enough to use it for bad things. People who are addicted to likes and retweets live shallower lives. They want this attention and are willing to lie about everything to get it, even lying to themselves. Whose fault is it that they seek this attention? Are popular people to blame for inspiring them? Are their parents to blame for not giving it to them? Is a supernatural being to blame for creating them that way? It really depends on the individual, but it is often a combination of the first two. People are the reason that people are sad, because people continue to create a continuous downward spiral. One guy decides to be a jerk, and if heaven itself doesn't stop him at this point, then someone else will be upset by it and be a jerk too. Everyone gets angrier and sadder and scummier, and even the most devout saint cannot stop the spiral now. It's too late. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. My point is, stop blaming social media for the work of your peers. If someone talks trash on Twitter, I don't think Twitter is garbage. The person is garbage. One may bring up some kind of special case, and it may be an exception to everything I've said, but I was only given the foresight to predict it, and not the case itself. Regardless, it would be an exception to the general rule. People suck. Section 3. Pot. Oh wow, look at that. It's so deep. It's like totally a person and their emotional state. I can feel that, bro. Section 4. Active listening. How much sawdust could you realistically put into a Rice Krispies treat before people started to notice?
At 0% sawdust in a Rice Krispies treat, it's just a normal Rice Krispies treat. At 25%, there isn't much of a flavor difference, but it's a bit harder to bite into. At 50%, it becomes noticeably hard in your mouth and sticks to the inside of it. At 100%, you have a brick of sawdust.
It sounds like you have researched this topic extensively.
I have indeed. It would be wise to not accept food from me. After my sacrifice of 3 goats to the ancient lumber demon that lives in my attic, I have gained access to an inexhaustible quantity of sawdust.
Noted. I will refrain from asking you for food or accepting food from you on account of my distaste for the flavor of wood.
You have made a good choice, mortal. Fear not the dark, and let the feast begin.